it's college application season again. And that age old question pops up. Should I follow my passion or should I chase a paycheck? So it's one of the hardest choices we could face as young adults. And with AI changing everything, the safe path, the path our parents took, or not my parents, but if you're young, the path Gen X took, it doesn't feel safe anymore. Let's address the elephant in the room, job security. AI's reach is expanding every day. And more supposedly secure jobs are being either automated or, as companies like to put it, reimagined, whatever that means. Sure, medicine, teaching, engineering, they all feel pretty solid right now, but even they will evolve over time. The truth is, no degree is 100% safe. It's just too hard to predict AI's reach into the future. For sure, AI faces hurdles like safety and consistency and cost, but it also faces something new, something technology, at least to my knowledge, has never really had to navigate, and that's trust. Would you trust a robot to do surgery on you? Would you trust them to teach your kids in a classroom? Would you trust a robot to fly a plane, land a plane, all alone with no pilot, a human pilot? Maybe not today, but it's coming. We're inching closer to that. It might not be in my generation or my kids' generation, but it's coming. Like, we sort of already trust self-driving cars, but not completely. And we sort of trust autonomous taxis, but again, not completely. The younger generations, they trust the technology, they trust AI way more than us Gen Xers or just in general older generations. And in my opinion, autonomous cars are really the first trust litmus test for AI. Once we have mostly or all autonomous cars on the road, we've crossed a bridge toward trusting AI to basically take care of us. And then AI kind of has no limits as to what it could do. We won't question it as much. And then even the safest jobs are at risk. And then what do you do? But let's go back to the big question. Should you follow your passion or should you chase a paycheck? Something that feels safe. My youngest son, who's applying to colleges, he recently asked me that question, and it made me think a lot. It made me think, there really are just kind of two kinds of people in the world in general. There's the passion persona, right? The ones who've known since they were 5 years old exactly what they wanted to do. They're a dancer, a musician, or a singer. They're the creative types, the storytellers. They're the creative souls of the world. And these passion types, they fall into two buckets or two categories. There's the passionate, creative type, but they're really not that good at school, right? We've all met them. Their grades are horrible or not so good, but man, they can sing and play the guitar like no one you've ever met. And then there's the creative, smart, passionate people. They're creative, but they're also really good or good at school. So if you fall into the first bucket, which is not really that great at school, but you have a passion, I'd say follow your passion, but stay grounded. Live within your means, because life is getting expensive. Life gets expensive very fast. And if you can create and stay afloat, you'll likely be happier than chasing something that just drains you. That's something that makes you miserable. If you're in the second category, you're that smart, passionate person, well, you've got a special gift, right? Pursue your passion, but you should also give yourself an option and create a plan B. Maybe that means you have a dual major in college, or a minor or two, right? And that major, that dual major, that second major or minor will be in a STEM field. This gives you optionality, right? If you find out later on that, hey, this passion thing isn't paying the bills, isn't working out, and I know that I could thrive in either world, the STEM world or my passion, although I prefer the passion, then you give yourself an option and you can go down the road of following or leveraging your second major or minors. You're just giving yourself optionality, and you're lucky you have the ability to do that. In both cases, whether you are the passionate but not so good at school or the passionate and good at school, I highly recommend you start building your own platform early. Whether it's YouTube, Instagram, photography, design, whatever it is, start now before life gets crowded with bills and responsibilities, right? And because AI is usually not a friend to passion people, it encroaches into their world as well. Creating your own platform is your best protection. It's your way to be original. It's your way to stand out. And those platforms give you opportunity to be your own boss, essentially. Maybe you'll never have to work for the man. And that's a great way to kind of future-proof your career. Now, the second type of person is what I'll call the pragmatist or the dabbler. That's someone like me. They have really zero passions. They're just curious about everything. We would get bored if we were doing the same thing all the time, right? That's just not who we are. We're not wired that way. And if that's you, your decision for a major might just come down to practicality, right? When I was young, I picked computer science because it sounded like something cool. It sounded like the next thing, and I got lucky. I guessed it right. And someone, when I was younger, once told me, Bob, you can always teach a STEM person business, but you can't always teach a business person STEM. And it stuck with me. I don't know if it's true, but it really stuck with me. So if you're a dabbler, a pragmatist like me, and you're on the fence between a BA in college or a BS, my recommendation is go for the BS. That's just where I would go. Now, I'll let you in on a little secret. The degree you choose, it doesn't lock you into that job or that field forever. People reinvent themselves all the time. Now, it gets harder to do that if you build a lifestyle around a high salary and high debt. Obligations can make change much harder. So when you're choosing what to do, what major to pick, don't just ask, well, does it pay well? Ask yourself, do I see myself doing this for 30 plus years and still being happy? Now, I know this isn't easy when you're 18 because 48 seems like a lifetime from now, but trust me when I tell you, it's not. It will creep up on you so fast, your head will spin. So do your best to think about, will I do okay? Will I be happy doing this job in the long term? And it's hard to get all the data points when you're young too. So talk to other people about those jobs and see where they see the industry going and how happy they've been. But do your best to do some research before you make a decision, just so you have as much information as possible. Now, what about alternative paths? I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the trades. Electricians, plumbers, welders, mechanics, HVAC techs. These folks keep the world running, right? And the pay is often fantastic. If you like working with your hands, the trades offer stability right now and a demand and a real salary with an honorable job with real purpose. And by the way, it's without all the college debt. So if you like working with your hands, really think about a trade. I learned a trade when I was younger, and it was one of the best things I ever did. My final advice is that no one's really fully insulated from AI's march forward. How we adapt will determine our outcome for sure. We don't know if we're going to use it responsible or if we're going to build Skynet. So the best two pieces of advice I can give you, no matter what happens, no matter what choice you make, to give you optionality is 1, live within your means. Do not overextend yourself. Give yourself flexibility. Flexibility gives you options, and options equals freedom. So try to live within your means as much as possible. It can be really difficult when you start building a family and a mortgage and cars, etc. But just do your best. Always be conscious of that. Give yourself options. The second piece of advice is start saving early. Even small, consistent savings builds over time. Compound interest is magical. Start saving young, ignore it, pretend it doesn't exist, and over time, you will be surprised at how fast that grows. But you have to start saving. At the end of the day, I'm a firm believer of following your passion. You only get one time around on this planet, and you should be able to enjoy it. And I, for one, don't want to miss out on any of the special gifts and talents that those people with passions might have. But you should also prepare for reality, because reality will show up whether you're prepared or not. As my son said, no one wants to major in unemployment. Look, life, how you live it, is a personal choice. So choose a path that helps you sleep at night. But don't just chase a paycheck because it's the logical or practical thing to do. Who knows, you might be the next Taylor Swift or the next Christopher Nolan or the next Denzel Washington. Who knows? So consider all of your options and consider them carefully. If this helped you think through your path more, please click like and subscribe. I'll have more honest conversations about life and work and kind of everything in between. I'm Bob, and I look forward to our next conversation.